Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back to
Yeah.
the On the Fest podcast. It's your host, Reb. I got my boy Kenny G, and we got a special guest with us today, Freddie D. What's up, everybody? How y'all feeling today?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Feeling good, man. Week one, baby. It's week one.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, week one. We're about to get into it today. We're going to talk a little bit about what to expect, some of the matchups to look for, what the Giants got going on in the headlines, what we got going on in the headlines. And we're going to have Fred with us the whole entire way. So sit back and sub up. Let's get ready for another great episode and another great season here on the On the Fence podcast. Let's go.
Raise hell, raise hell.
Raise hell.
We'll blaze a trail, raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders will prevail. Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders never fail.
So, Fan Nation, we're going to get right into it. The big headlines for this Commanders game leading into week one. I would say the biggest headline that we have is Jayden Daniels' sophomore leap, not slump, leap. I think we're going to go in the opposite direction. And the reason being is just because of the expectations after his Offensive Rookie of the Year campaign. I think we all know he got that gold marker, his NFL gold marker. Only five players got it who received NFL Player Awards last year. Jaden is just a different animal. They say Von Miller came out and said he has that shade of Kobe in him, just because of the way he approaches the game. That's his favorite athlete. He also was just interviewed earlier today and said that's his favorite athlete, not just player ever, favorite athlete. And he does model his game after him, even though he does play a different sport. But just the way he approaches the game, I just don't see a step back in Jayden Daniels this year. And the reason being, and I want to talk about this is because, one of the reasons being the biggest reason, because Scary Terry, got that extension. The fact of the matter is, the locker room, we have leadership. Everybody's locked in, going into this year. The fact that, we got his 1A to 1B with Deebo Samuels playing beside him the first time in Terry's career he's actually had a legit number two receiver. And also the first time in his career that he's playing with the same quarterback 2 seasons in a row.
That's
Go
true.
figure. So so yeah, man. The fact that Deebo's coming in, you got Laremy Tunsil protecting this blind side. It's gonna elevate the offense to a whole different level. Cliff Kingsbury not leaving. We have so much continuity. A lot of people have to understand the continuity is what's going to take us so far. But the one thing I'll say going into week one is our defensive line depth. I wouldn't say the secondary depth overall. It's just the questions that we have that just need to be answered because our defensive back group is new. Marshawn Lattimore really hasn't played a full season with us. Trey Amos, high expectations. We really love a kid out of Ole Miss. Mikey Sanders still, I would say, is the only player in our defensive backfield, along with Quan Martin, that really don't have a question mark because they've proven it. Now, Will Harris coming in, I feel like he's going to be a great addition. The defense, it's just a wait and see approach for me, but overall, I'm excited to see the product that we are going to put out the field week one against the Giants. A lot of questions will be answered. Fred, I do got a question for you, my guy. Seeing how, you being a player in the locker room, I want you to touch on Terry McLaurin receiving that extension. What does that do, for any of the other key vets in the locker room when they see a guy of his magnitude get paid, and how that just sets the tone for the year?
I mean, it sets the tone for the whole locker room because let's just say when you got a guy like Terry McLaurin that's played 7 years here with 7 different quarterbacks, never complained, never asked for a trade when he could have. It sets the tone to let people know, like, okay, we're going to take care of our players that do things the right way. You never heard of Terry getting into trouble off the field. You never. I still go out. I've never seen Terry one time in a club. You know what I mean? So to me, he's the standard for what you want your players to be. So when you don't take care of a guy like that, it could hurt the locker room because then you're like, wow, if you don't take care of Terry, you probably not gonna take care of us. And he's doing everything right. You know what I mean? He was real quiet. He could have made a lot more noise in this past few weeks about how upset he was probably not getting a deal done, even knowing that he had a deal coming. But still, I mean, I think that from my understanding, what I was hearing was that, he was going for that 34 $35 million a year,
Mm-hmm.
and they were trying to offer him like 28. I think a lot of times what we do is, as players, we look at the other numbers as guys that they get those numbers, because a lot of times when the market changes, a guy that doesn't deserve, well, he's probably a great player, but he's not an elite player, will get something like that. And then I think one of the things that Terry was looking at was DJ Metcalf's deal. You know what I mean? Because he was getting that big deal, and it's like, I've done more than DJ Metcalf. I mean, he's been consistent over 1,000 yards each year. You know what I mean? And to me, that just shows dedication and work ethic, and also just the standard of value of where we're at in this room as far as the receiver room and the locker room. So taking care of a guy like that is well deserved, and it's only going to strengthen your locker room, because they know that if we do all the things right, this organization will take care of me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of like the organization that I came from, where we paid guys that probably were at the tail end of their career or at the end of their career, or maybe didn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? So for that, I would say that the Commanders are in a lot better position by doing that deal, and I think it would only work out.
Yeah, nah, most def. That Terry deal. Yeah, you nailed it, man. Like, that Terry deal meant everything. You said it best, and it's nice hearing it from somebody who actually played in the NFL, who knows what that means as well too. For where it's like, that shit's real. Like, if you don't take care of a guy like that, other guys are gonna look. Football players are people too. They're gonna see that. Anybody smart is gonna be like, all right, bro, like, I'm not rocking with that. So it definitely put that whole thing together. And I think that's really gonna be what helps this season out a lot, is that chemistry and that continuity. And I love not just what they have in the receiver room, not everybody is more healthy, but just what they were able to do with the coaching staff. How nobody in the coaching staff left. That's rare in today's NFL, where you could retain an entire coaching staff multiple years. So the fact that they have that continuity and they can grow in that regard too, I feel like that's really going to be what's the difference maker for the Commanders this season.
Just second that part too. Like, that will happen eventually, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they know that they have something great right now, and they don't know how long they have this for this moment. You know what I mean? Hopefully, in our case, we have it for a long time, right?
Yeah.
But by the time Jayden comes around, he's probably going to be getting like, what, 300, maybe 320? You know what I mean? So a lot of these guys, if we have success again after last year, like all coordinators do, they want to be head coaches. They don't want to be coordinators. Now, the guys that do want to be coordinators and know that that's what they're good at, I feel is the perfect situation, because you know what to do. You know what I mean? Some guys aren't great head coaches. I've been around a lot of coaches that weren't great head coaches at all. You know, they probably knew the X's and O's. They probably were good with players, but they just weren't great head coaches. So the second that's something that we will have to worry about pretty soon, because once come with a lot of success, a lot of people start leaving because they get a lot of opportunities, and a lot of people want to snatch them out.
That's true, but that they definitely are riding that wave while they got it.
Yeah, you got to ride the wave.
You got that wave, bro. And I like the talent they have that they can bring up too. Like, there's a lot of people on the coaching staff that if somebody gets promoted, they can easily just be like, all right, bet you the coordinator now, and we good. Right. Like,
I mean, just look at the free agency. Look how many more guys want to come to our team now than they did 5 years ago, right? The only way they would come to our team in free agency is if we gave them a bundle load of money. Now you got guys requesting to get out of places to come here. Just like Lattimore, as you know, just brought up, you know what I mean?
And Deebo.
So there's a lot of guys, you know, like Tunsil. Like let's be real. Tunsil wouldn't want to come here before, you know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that. When you have a winning season, when you have like something that looks like it's able to go forward, a lot of guys are going to want to jump on that.
Sure, man. It's a good thing. It's some good things happening in DC, for it's a lot different than when you were playing. Wouldn't you like to turn back the hands of time and play?
Man, would I love to play for a quarterback, just one quarterback and not 8?
Man.
Yeah, I would definitely love that. I mean, that changes a guy's career, right?
Facts.
I mean, for me, that would change my whole career. Me having the same mind and understanding with the player, and then being able to relate to that player, because every quarterback throws the ball different, and you got to adjust to him differently, right? Some guys throw it hard every play. Some guys have touch on the ball. Some guys know how to pinpoint accuracy. So for me, I wish I could. I wish I could turn back the hands of time, maybe go a little bit more forward when they get in a new stadium. That would be I like to play in a $3.5 billion stadium. You know what I mean? I want to have the fans cheering in the city instead of being in Maryland. No offense to Maryland. I love playing in Maryland. It was awesome, but we won in the city. So for me, I wish I could turn the hands back of time. So
true. Yeah, that's dope, bro. That's definitely real. I would have loved to see that, man. Freddie D on this type of offense in today's NFL.
And I have nothing against. I think Zach Ertz is a great tight end.
Nah,
I think
Zach Ertz is dope.
I could be, if I was young, Freddie D could be in that
Come on
lineup.
now.
What you mean? What you mean? Ain't no question.
No, I'm just joking.
Nah, it passed the eye test. You can pull up highlights on YouTube right now that could prove it.
Nah, it's all love, brother. No, he's doing a great job,
He
though.
is doing a great job, though.
I just
He's
like
doing a
where
great
we're
job.
at right now as a whole. And you know what? I can't complain, man. Life is they did playing for the Redskins, aka Commanders, did my life well, made me millionaire, multi-millionaire overnight, and I had a lot of great relationships with a lot of different people. So it was great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We're going to take it into the next segment. We're going to talk about the headlines and just the new look Giants per se, just the competitor we have coming in to Landover at Northwest Stadium. The first thing first, I want to ask Reb's input on this. And Reb, you know, my question to you is Russell Wilson as quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think he has left in the tank?
You know, Russ is one of those interesting quarterbacks because I feel like whenever everybody starts to count out Russ, like he starts to really hoop out. But I feel like he's solid for at least a good 7 or 8 games any given season because he still has a really nice touch on the deep ball and he has a lot of veteran savvy. I think about last season's game, how just at the end of the game, he was able to use some of that savvy and get an offsides off of our rookie, Jerzon Newton at the time. Like those type of things are what I feel like are intangible with Russ. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But at the same time, it's like, did we do enough with our pass rush? Did we do enough with our secondary where we'll be able to kind of stop that? I definitely think he's stoppable. He's not as fast as he used to be, but I do think that veteran savvy is going to be there. But we have Bobby Wagner. So it's really going to pan out based off of what's happening with Bobby and the guys like Frankie Lou and all that. So I'm not too worried about it, but I just know that Russell Wilson can come in to your stadium and put up buckets on you.
Depending on where Russell you get. To backdoor that, I agree with a good 8 games. So that means 8-9. I mean, to be honest with you, he doesn't have the quick twitch muscles anymore like he used to. I mean, from what I've seen, you know, even watching him on the Steelers, he's definitely has a decline. Now, can he come back from that and make some great plays? Yeah, he can always make some great plays here and there. But do I see him finishing this season out? I'll be honest with you, I don't. I think Jackson Dart will be playing eventually in that offense. You know what I mean? So I definitely think this first game, it's gonna be all Russell. Unless he throws like 4 or 5 picks, you know what I mean? Hopefully so.
Yeah.
But
let's go.
Hey, I agree with you on maybe 8 games. I agree that he's good for 8 games. I don't think Russell has the whole 17 in him to play a whole season at a high level. Depends on what their running game does. Depends on if Malik Nabers stays healthy. I mean, they have a couple good receivers, but they're not loaded at receiver like that. Tight end wise, I don't even know who their tight ends, to be honest with you, at this moment.
Johnson, I think.
Theo Johnson. Okay, he's not bad.
He's not bad.
There's not a lot of elite talent where you have where you can say, you know what, I could have a bad day today, and this guy's gonna make me look good. With some quarterbacks, you know, every quarterback, even the great ones have that, you know, a guy that's gonna make them look good when they're not supposed to look good in that position. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah, man. Veering off from Russell, there's one guy on that offensive side of the ball who may be one of the best players in the league, and that's Jayden Daniels' ex-teammate and Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers, man, you know, coming off a dog, absolute dog. Okay, I just can't wait till rookie contract is up.
Jamar Chase 2.0.
That's high.
I mean, like a broke man's Jamar Chase. I think that's still like a good ceiling for him.
I'll take that
for sure. Yeah, I think Malik Nabers is going to be one of the best in the NFL. You know, receivers in the NFL, potentially Hall of Fame. I really do, especially when his rookie contract ends and Terry is about to retire and Nabers is coming on over.
Hey,
and
talk about it.
Pick him up
talk about it.
Contract.
Talk about it.
It's all gonna make sense, you know. You said it earlier, Fred. Everyone wants to come play with us, and why would he want to come play with his best friend?
Oh yeah, for sure. I could definitely. I could definitely see that happen unless they try to franchise tag him a couple times, keep his ass there. Other than that,
Just
I
to
can see
keep
that
him there,
happening.
right?
Reuniting with Jayden, that's your LSU buddy. So I wouldn't. That's very understandable. I mean, that's something Jayden would love for sure. You know what I mean? So
For
I
sure.
agree with that too.
Now, I do want to talk about, so we're talking about Malik Nabers, right? Last year, he torched us in week 2. He had about 141 yards. I think it was 140 yards plus on us. I mean, torched us. But the difference was that guess who was out there in the first half until we pulled him?
Was it Benjamin?
Michael Davis, okay? Good old
I thought it was St.
Michael
Juice.
Davis was covering him. And when I tell you, and then they pulled him, all right, because it was one play he left him on the ground. Michael Davis fell to the ground. He couldn't tackle worth a damn. He was missing tackles left and right. And then and what they did was they put BSJ in. BSJ, as you know, he plays bad in the worst moments. It's one thing about BSJ is that he'll lock you up the entire game, and then it will be when the game is on the line, he wants to get a PI, or he ends up falling on the ground, or he's out of position. So the point I'm making is that those two DBs is who was covering Malik Nabers last year during week 2. Now, week 1, we have a whole revamped DB room, okay? And we have high expectations for our DB room. I just don't see him going off like how he did last year with this type of DB room that we have this year. That's all. So, I mean, you guys can let me know.
I kind of would agree, but I would say also this group has a lot to prove. I mean, if I started the season grading them, this DB room, I would have to probably be realistic and say like a C+ room. You know what I mean? As far as the grade, I would give them at this moment, you know, without seeing anybody take a leap or a step, right? And receiver wise, I definitely feel like if we hold Nabers down, and which we should, if we do like roll cover 2s and do double teams and stuff like that, I feel like we could stop him. But he's one of those guys that he's gonna get his numbers. Like he's gonna get something. It might be one big play in the first quarter. He might not have no catches in the first half, and then have that play that means something in the third and fourth quarter. He's that type of guy. So stopping him and controlling him and containing him is the best that I feel that we have the chance to do, and it's do nothing more than that. Because then if we give him the least chance for him to be the best Malik Nabers he can be, I feel that's a job one. You know what I mean? If he has one touchdown for 50 yards, to me, that's a job one. Now if he gets 100 for 2 touchdowns, that could change the game. You know what I mean? So I mean that's like 10 first downs, and depending on if it was one big play or if it was 10 different plays that mattered on third down. So it all depends.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I think his impact will be felt, but at the same time, I just hope that we could just keep him under 100 yards, and he scores 1 touchdown and not 2. I'm okay. That's winning in my book. So now I want to take it to the next part of the Giants headlines, and that's their defensive line. That this reminds me of, Fred and Red. This is it reminds me so much of when we had Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team is ass.
Yeah.
This is sincerely, like this is what it's reminding me.
No, that front four we had was a nice. We had a crazy front four. You had 2 first-round D tackles, a Montez Sweat, and a first-round Chase Young. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So we had some dogs on that D line.
We really did.
I mean, there was only so long that was going to be stuck together like that, because you can't be paying your D tackles both $80-90 million. You know what I mean? It's only that you get a good 2 or 3 years with those guys. They made it last a little bit longer, but yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, you got Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter,
Kayvon
Thibodeau, beast. Like I said, one thing about the rookie Abdul Carter, obviously Josh Connolly locked him up, and then on top of that, we got Tunsil on the other side. But with our improved O-line, I just can't see them getting after it like everyone expects them to. Just because we actually have some guys that are proven up front. Okay, we really do. With the outside of Josh Connolly, he's the rookie, but the kid has been stout so far. He absolutely has. So I just look forward to seeing him, man. That's something I just can't see them just getting after the first game out the gate.
I'll say this. I'm not gonna say they're gonna get after it, but I do think that you have to watch for what's gonna be happening on there. They're gonna have Jayden. They're gonna force Jayden to be his athletic and runner self. Like they're gonna
Yeah,
move
and
that
that's the thing
pocket.
that I fear.
Like
I fear
yeah.
that because Jayden,
Mm,
you don't want Jayden running around like that every play.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna put more. Those guys, that front four is gonna put pressure on Jayden. To make quick
Absolutely.
throws and
mhm,
make the right
mhm,
decision and get the ball, try to get the ball out of his hands. Which means that our running game needs to be spectacular. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
if we create a running game and we can run on that defense,
Mm-hmm.
it will
right.
open up a lot of different play
Mm-hmm.
action for Jayden. It'll give him a chance to get outside the pocket. I don't mind Jayden running for like 50 yards maybe, but I don't want Jayden doing too much running because like it's easy. Like, he's not the biggest. He doesn't have the biggest frame right now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mhm,
And over
mhm.
time, he might get a little bit bigger, but and he's quick. He's fast. He runs a 4.3. But at the same time, though, you don't want your quarterback running too much. You know what I mean? At the same token, because you got 17 games. This is a long season, baby. This is a
Mm-hmm.
long season.
Mm-hmm. But that offensive line is retooled, right? And I do
Yeah.
think they're gonna hold up. But to Fred's point, it's gonna be all on the run game. But I wouldn't say that they're not gonna bring it because they're definitely gonna bring it. They're gonna find a way to have all those guys on the field at some point in some capacity, and they're just gonna keep rotating it out. So they're gonna try to eat, but the run game is gonna be what saves us, and their secondary is like that's gonna be the next thing. It's like what's that combination of what is it, Javon Holland that they have over there, and then Adebo from the
Adebo.
Saints. Adebo,
Mhm.
they got him over there, and those two together. How do y'all feel that's gonna pan out for the Giants as far as how that goes? You think they're gonna be able to shut down our receiving core with Deebo and Terry?
Those are two elite receivers. I shut them down. No, I give it the same as like I just said about Neighbors. I feel like it's going to be one of those situations. Can they contain Terry?
Mm-hmm.
Can they get
Mm-hmm.
Terry to have about 60, 70 yards and
Mm-hmm.
Debo maybe get a couple screens and end arounds and maybe
Mm-hmm.
not do too much? That's what they're going to probably be hoping for. And if they can
Mhm.
get the ball, get to pressure Jayden, get him out the pocket, get him to start running. That's what they would probably be hoping for, I would think. But to stop them totally, I just don't see that
Mm-hmm.
happening. And if some of these rookies start stepping up, like I was hoping that McCaffrey could kind of step up this year, or maybe if one of the other backup guys could kind of step up a little bit, it would always help to have your third slot receiver come in and be able to make big plays when they're trying to tag both of your other main two receivers.
Well, Zaf, definitely having that would make a big difference on there. I think that kind of takes us into the next thing, which is really going to be all about the key matchups in this game. So we can keep diving in on that because I feel like the conversation already naturally led to that standpoint. So let's
Yeah.
just go ahead and go to everybody's favorite part of the game is the key matchups, right? Everybody wants to see the lineups. We already started talking about this first one, which is the Laremy Tunsil versus Brian Burns, Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, really seeing how all those things are going to go along. That O-line is looking sharp. Fred just told us that they can't really contain McLaurin. So with that being said, what do y'all really think is going to happen between Malik Nabers and our DBs? Like which DB do you think are they going to put on Malik Nabers? You think they're going to give that to Lattimore?
Yeah.
I don't.
I think I
I'm
don't
sorry.
think that they'll be
Go ahead.
playing man. I think they were going to be in a lot of zone, and they'll probably have somebody roll with him, and then have a safety on top of him. You know what I mean? I think personally that's what they would do because him one on one with somebody, or I just don't see it happening. Like I think a lot of cover 2, cover 4, stuff like that. I just don't see us really putting a lot of man on him.
Mhm.
I feel like we got to contain him, and to contain somebody, I feel like is giving him something at the line, and then having another person on top of him just in case he's going deep because he's fast enough to get behind guys.
Big time. Yeah, I'm intrigued, man. One of the things that, of course, with DQ defense, all right, the way that he wants to play, the reason being that he couldn't run the defense, he and Joe Wood couldn't run the defense they ran in Dallas, is because we didn't have the defensive backfield in order for them to run such packages and in order to shut down our opposing number one receivers. That was the whole reason for them going out and getting Lattimore. Like that was literally like we need our CB1. We need a corner that will be able to shut down the opposite team's number one receiver. Lattimore was brought here to follow,
Yeah.
number one receivers. He did it with AJ Brown. He did it with CD. Like he did it with multiple players. Players that we went against. And he wasn't even healthy then. Now that he's healthy, I'm so excited to see. I
Right.
look forward to seeing.
Gonna be wearing that too.
I'm guessing he
It
gonna be
helps
wearing
part.
that too. I'm
Yeah.
guessing he gonna shadow Malik the whole game. That's what my guess is. So we'll see what happens because they like to move. They like to move
Yeah,
Malik
yeah,
a
it's
lot.
a lot of motion to
Yeah, a
see
lot of
what
motion.
to see what the defense is in to give the quarterback time. I definitely feel that way, but I feel exactly the same as you when it comes to him being injured last year. I know he had a serious hamstring issue,
Right.
and that's something you can't have a serious hamstring issue. And the fact that he was still out there, that just shows the dog in him. At the Saints, he definitely was a lockdown corner at one point. So I would love to see him bring that back to the Commanders. So yeah. The only thing I am
Well,
worried about, we did bring up Terry. I'm just going back here,
Yeah.
is that Terry ain't been in camp all year, right?
Yeah.
And these type of things, these contract disputes, mess that rhythm up. You know what I mean? When you have with the guy, and even though they been played last year together, it's a new year, and that matters. You know what I mean? So for me, only thing I would be upset with the Commanders about is not getting this deal done sooner. So Terry could have practiced a little bit with the team, a little bit more in training camp and stuff like that. But other than that, that's the only thing I had to say about that, Terry, because I had to go
Fred,
back there.
Fred, I do want to ask you this question because there was a rumor that was out there for someone on the inside that we know told us that Terry and Jayden were throwing in the bubble
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
after
yeah.
practice.
That's
Do you
good.
think that still messes up the timing that they had because they weren't doing it in team settings
Yeah,
and they
I
were just going
definitely
one on
do.
one?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, running routes on air and maybe having a DB in front of you, it's cool. Yeah, you can work on your craft and work on your routes and maybe running, but the game is different because when you have different zones and different places you got to get to and the timing of that, all that matters. Now, if he was doing in the bubble with 11 on 11 and he's working routes and he's doing his thing there, then I could see how that could benefit and contribute as a little bit more to him being able to come right back right away. But if he's just doing routes on air, yeah, it's always good to get some passes from your quarterback and running routes full speed. But my whole thing would be is just more that, yeah, I mean, a DB is not 100% out there running routes with you, right? They're not trying to jam you up as hard as they can. They're just trying to give you a look, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we do when we do routes on air, or routes on 7-on-7, when we do it in that kind of setting. For me, I would like still a look from a 11 on 11, another guy going 100% full speed to try to stop you, and you having to adjust to that.
Understood. Okay.
How do y'all think that tight end play is going to impact with the D line?
I think it would be a big factor. I think Ertz is going to be his safety net in the middle of the field, and I also think there'll be a lot of chipping. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you got a lot of those fast rushers, like your boy from Penn State right now. I personally feel you got to chip him probably a little bit. Thibodeau. Like there's going to be a lot of tight ends probably staying in to help. If that pass rush gets to Jayden like they expect it to, like the Giants want to, I feel that will be a big factor in a lot of play from Ertz, and maybe Sanat. I mean, I haven't really seen him get a lot of plays after being a second round, but maybe this might be the year that he could just break out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're hoping for.
That's what they're hoping for, man.
Yeah.
That was one of the main things that we actually did last year that we would be doing a lot less of. And Cliff has said it. If you look back at the film, Fred, do you understand that we chipped on every single, like 99% of dropbacks of running backs coming out and chipping?
Yeah.
Every single play because we lacked, a stout left tackle to cover Jada's blind side. So, and then also even on the right side, but mainly whenever they had someone coming out, especially because the premier pass rusher was typically lined up left side. Sorry, against Jada's blind side. My apologies. So, yeah, man.
Right side. Yeah.
Exactly, right side. So the fact of the matter is running backs were coming out, chipping every single play. Tight ends was chipping right before they were getting into their routes. That just messed up the timing. That timing alone is what I feel like our quick game. Our quick game is, of course, our bread and butter of this offense. And I felt as if that is what can only slow down this pass rush, our quick game, and of course, the run game. If we get into a rhythm where we're running the ball, we
it opens up everything.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
you
crazy.
Put 7, if you get them to put 7, 8 in the box, and then you get to run play action, it's only gonna help open things up. Because getting Jayden on the run throwing, he's really good at that. You know what I mean? So and he sees the field well downfield. where he can make those type of passes, and his arm is strong enough, and he's fast enough if he sees something he doesn't like to get out the way or check it down. I mean, who's the check down king? Tom Brady. At the end of the day, if I can't hit you with 50 in a turnover, I'm gonna get my 5 or 6, and let's get back to the next and get this next little 4. Sometimes, a lot in this game they don't want to play like that, which is understandable, but sometimes the check down is needed, right? Like you said. And as a player that chips a lot, well, I had to chip sometimes. We didn't do it as much, but if we were going like against a DeMarcus Ware or something like that, we had to chip. Like so. And not only that, like that takes away though, kind of like when you, even though you're getting that pass rusher off the quarterback a little bit more, it kind of takes away if you're going out on a route, right? Your timing is going to be messed up. Where you need to be is going to be messed up in the play. But you might not be the number one option anyway. So you're probably the third option. But so it doesn't really affect you too much. But the third option is usually a check down. So yeah.
True. Yeah, that's true. So how do you feel about that running back room, Fred? Since you got a chance to be around the team this offseason, how are you feeling about that? How they got rid of B-Rob and everything like that? What you think that's going to impact the team going into this game?
Oh, man. I mean, we got Eckler still, correct? Yeah. So he's still going to be a third down guy. I feel like I don't think Eckler is in the time of his career where he can be an every down back like he was at the Chargers.
Yeah.
Right.
So I still feel like his role is going to be the role he had last year, which was great because he made little plays that was needed and screens and getting the ball out the backfield because he could catch pretty well. And also just getting like in between the tackles. As far as Robinson goes, I was kind of surprised about that, but I really wasn't. I think they're looking for more of like a home run hitter instead of like that big power back at a number one. And I feel like Brian wants some money too as well. So I feel like we have a group of guys that probably need to prove a lot, right? I mean, in preseason, like I said, you got a lot of guys that could be preseason warriors. And then when the shit is 100% fast and everybody's going and all the starters there and the Pro Bowlers there and niggas is on your ass. And in a game like this is a division game. So all these, I mean, this matters. You know what I'm saying? The NFC East, this is an important game. I feel like that room has a lot to prove. You know what I mean? We need a guy that's going to be 1,000-yard back. That would help Jayden tremendously. A guy that could be 1,000-yard back, or if you were splitting with two guys for one guy to get 600, the other guy gets 7. We need that type of room right there. And I feel like they're capable of it. I still haven't seen too much from the younger guys. I've seen some of the preseason games. I like what number 32 has been doing. But I still feel I need to see more. I need to see more for sure. I just need to, and if I was to rate that room right now, I would say C+, like another C+, like because like
it's 2 C pluses.
I just feel like we're in that area. I mean, but let's be honest though, the run game has changed a lot, and I mean, well, except for like the Eagles, they have a crazy run game, right?
True.
They just won the Super Bowl running the ball, so the run game has been obsolete in the past few years, but the run game is coming back right now. So
it is.
And as far as like offenses using that, because the NFL is a copycat league. If one team is able to do it, they try to do it with their players and the other players and the other players. But the only thing is that every guy's not Saquon, every guy's not this guy, every guy's not Tom Brady. So it's not always going to work out the way coaches do. But this is a copycat league, and that's what they do. For my hope for them is I just want to see a good, clean day, no balls on the ground. I want to see one of those guys kind of stand out. We already know what Eckler going to do. We know what he has done before, and he's getting older, right? So I just need one of those young guys to come out that room and actually, kind of shine a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Ja'Cory Krosky and Chris Rodriguez. I feel like he's been looking sharp the last few years, and he has the potential to really go off in this game, especially, with the way the Giants are going to be blitzing and stuff. We'll see. Chris Rodriguez has got faster, but he was already a little bit of a bruiser. So I think he's a good hybrid of what you would want out of Brian Robinson. And Ja'Cory Krosky, I think he has that home run hitter. But I know a lot of people have been talking about the fact that he's 4th on the depth chart. Fred, do you ever find it that sometimes teams might play around with the depth chart to try to get an advantage?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. That happens all the time. You might even put a guy down and say he might not play. You know what I mean? He might say he might not play, and then he's already suiting up knowing that happens all the time. I mean, that's little tricks of the game that they've been doing that for years. You know what I mean? When it comes to like the quarterback position, I mean, we had a quarterback controversies where they're like, we don't know who's going to start. We already know. We know. You know what I mean? From the practices and everything that's going on, we know who's going to start. The players do. But
you're talking about You were talking about quarterback controversy. You were talking about RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
That too, and also Rex Grossman and John Beck that year. They were going through a lot of quarterback controversy who was going to play that year, but we already knew, like, you know what I mean. So, but as far as that goes, that's been a game that every team plays that game. Yeah, for sure.
All right,
makes sense.
Like a little Art of War type of situation.
Yeah.
Makes
Try
sense.
to figure out.
Yeah,
You might have
sense.
schemed all. The defense might have schemed all week for this guy, but guess what? We gonna keep this dude. And other defenses, they know that as well, and they're prepared. They usually have a backup plan for that too. But trust me,
for sure.
And they do the scouting and stuff like that. They figure that out.
100%. And you know, all the guys, you know, you got our fantasy warriors out there, right? You know, people who go above and beyond for their fantasy leagues and whatnot. Those are the individuals that were in an uproar when they saw our guy Bill that was listed at RB4. Oh my gosh! All over
they went
Twitter,
crazy.
all over
They
Instagram.
went crazy.
They went
insane.
crazy. I drafted him. I drafted him in the 4th round. How they gonna put him in RB4? I'm like, man, y'all don't relax. Like, y'all have to understand that it's all strategy.
Yeah, I can
really
see how the
fantasy.
I can see how that messes up fantasy football, though, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Like, I wasted my pick on this dude.
He ain't even gonna play.
Facts.
Facts.
Nah, I think he's gonna get some good touches, and it's gonna be a really good matchup on there. So let's keep this moving, man. I love this conversation. I like how we've been able to kind of cover some of the things that are going on with the game. Just as we move into this game a little bit more, we know that the Commanders were a top 5 offense last year. So that's definitely going to be something to keep in mind going into this game for people who may have fantasy football implications or anything like that. Just keep that in mind. I think they put about 485 points up last year. That's a lot. That I don't think I've ever witnessed Washington teams put up that much points in the season in my lifetime so far. So it's nice to see that.
It's probably not for like 30 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So it's nice to see that. I know the Giants coming into this game, these are just a few interesting stats on there. They've been averaging 16 points per game last season, but we know that there's different quarterbacks in there. But that offensive line on their end is a little bit shaky as well too. So how do y'all think the Commanders are going to be able to take advantage of that Giants offensive line?
Them guys, like you just named, you got your boy Deron Payne, and them guys, Lavu, all them guys got to stop the run. They got to put pressure on Russell, try to get him out of that pocket, make him have to move around, hit him early. You know, stuff like that, really, to be in my opinion. I think getting Russell on the ground early and making them know that you're there and that it's going to be a long day will be a difficult situation. That helped. And I mean, when you have good pass rush, it only helps the cornerbacks out more, right? It only helps the DBs out more because then they get to be able to adjust too. So I feel like putting a lot of pressure on Russell, don't let them get a good run game started. Containing Nabers will be the key factors I feel will be the main things that I would try to do. And then just protecting Jayden, you know what I mean? Like that front four, like we hoping that they don't have a great day, right? But they got a good squad over there on that line.
Facts.
I'll say that. So for me, I feel like it's gonna be more probably having to stop that, and then also, like I said, containing Nabers. That's gonna be a big thing.
Okay, Kenny, what you got on that?
It's just one factor to me, and that's just shutting down their pass rush overall, and then everything else is going to fall into place. I'm personally not too worried about the Giants. I really am not. I'm not worried at all in terms of coming into this matchup. Well, this is a team that I don't feel like they're coming into such a matchup as confident as we are. You know, the fact that we are the hunted, you know, but at the same time, we got the mentality as the hunters. And game in and game out, you know, we're Super Bowl bound. I don't think they're coming in with the same type of mentality. You know, I don't believe that their head coach is preparing that team the same way that we're preparing our team. So, yeah, man, I'm overall, I'm just excited for what our offense is going to do. I believe that, you know, JD may put up 4 touchdowns on their head tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but on Sunday. I think he got 7 TDs.
But I will say, though, Kenny, I played at the Patriots for a little bit. Dayball is a great coach, man. He ain't a bad coach, bro. If he gets the right guys in the room with him, and if he got the right talent, he's not a bad coach. Second, I would say We can't think like that. You know what I mean? Even though we went to NFC Championship, we ain't done shit yet, man.
Mm-hmm.
So if our minds is thinking that we
Exactly.
we Super Bowl bound and we listen to the media, we already fucked up. So for me, I would hope that we coming into this humble, just like we still ain't shit. And that,
Yeah.
and then to be honest, the third thing I would say is I know you watch the movie Any Given Sunday. You know what that means,
Yep.
right? Any given
Yeah.
Sunday, anything can happen.
Anything
So
can happen.
in the NFL, there is no guarantees.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
Fred, and I'm glad that listen, you're a former athlete, NFL athlete.
Facts.
You're supposed to have that mindset, okay?
I got
you. Me being a fan and my overzealous, you know.
I got you.
About the team. That's my fandom talking. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
If I was in the locker room, you know, I surely would have that same mindset. But at the same time, I absolutely appreciate the fact that you know, that at the end of the day, it is any given Sunday, 110%. You know, when you're on that field, any player in that locker room, they have to have that mentality. They cannot think that they're sweet for, or they fell last in the division last year. The NFC East, as you know, is up for grabs every single year.
And we getting better. NFC East is 10 times harder now than it was before.
Facts.
I mean, when have you seen the Commanders on ESPN as much as you have lately?
Yeah.
Now that right there, that can get to some players' heads a little bit because we haven't been on TV. They don't talk about us like that. I mean, they talked about us with the RG3 and the quarterback controversies, but they ain't never been talking about us going to no Super Bowl. Not like they've been talking lately. Like we able to win the Super Bowl. Now that type of stuff does get in the players' heads. Now I'm hoping is that these guys don't let that get in their head and they come into it with that kind of mindset. Like we still got a lot to prove. We got a lot to prove. I don't like how we ended the NFC Championship game. A lot of things to prove still. So I understand. I know you saying, Kenny, as far as a fan, yeah, for sure. You want your boys to go in there and do well and fuck the other team. But from the players' aspect, we got to keep our mind right, baby.
Facts. Nah, that they definitely have to. I like that, Coach Fred. Facts. Somebody hire Fred. Come on, dog. Oh man, nah, but definitely, man. I definitely feel like that's gonna be it. We can't come in thinking anything other than we have to earn every single bit of this, and the Giants are that team in this division that I honestly think are going to surprise a lot of people this season because of their defense. So you got to know that they know they were last in the division. They know all those things, and they don't want to come out and be the same way as that. Like they get paid.
And Dayball knows this is going to be his last year probably if he don't do well.
He on the hot seat, him and the GM. So things are going to be interesting. I think it's going to be one of those classic NFL NFC East matchups. The reporter be like New York Giants football, you know, one of them joints. You know, it's gonna be one of those type of games. So sure. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, man. Fred, since we have the pleasure of talking to somebody who actually played in the league and did all of this, what's your best week one memory?
Shoot, I'm gonna go with the week one against the Giants. I had about 115, I think, in the tug. I think, and we won. I'm going with the Giants. Since this is the Giants week, I'm going with the week one 2011 against the Giants. That's what we going.
Okay.
And we got the W. There you go, Kenny. I got you, baby.
And you got
Let's go. Eat them
dubs.
On 9/11. Let's go. Talk about it.
On 9/11. Yes, sir.
No, I would definitely say that for sure. Yeah.
So we talk about Commanders legacy, Redskin legacy. Okay, what excites you the most about this 2025 roster, just compared to your previous playing days? If you're looking at this roster and compared to what you had done before, how does that compare, and what excites you the most?
Looking at this roster compared to mine.
Yeah, like when you played.
I would say, one thing I would say about the teams that I was on and when I was playing, our defense was not bad. We never had like really bad. We always had decent corners, depending on what D-Hall you get that week.
Yeah.
Carlos Rogers, if he gonna drop out picks, because usually he's always in position to get a pick. We've always had a crazy defense when I was playing. London Fletcher, one of the greatest linebackers I ever played with.
Did you play with Rocky?
Rocky McIntosh. We've always had some great linebackers and good defensive linemen and decent corners. Like our defense has always been pretty good. I would say that our offense always lacked. I mean, we might have had we had Santana, we had Clinton, for a certain amount of time till he started getting beat up, and then Santana lasted for a long time. I just feel like our offensive line was a big problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The quarterback position was a big problem. And I mean, you can't win in this league unless you have a great quarterback and a leader. You might get pretty far, but to be consistent, we didn't have consistent quarterback play. You know what I mean? It's always been a different guy. Like I said, Jason Campbell, to Todd Collins, to Rex, to Black, RG3, to Cousins, to Carson Wentz, to Alex Smith, to Sam Howell, to
that list is
Heineke.
long, bro.
I mean, the list is so long.
Cheesecake
we
Factory
didn't have
menu.
a standard. We haven't had a standard. So what I like most about this team is that they have a standard at quarterback. We have two. I mean, I feel like one great receiver and another that's like probably one step behind.
True.
And Deebo. I mean, Deebo's a great athlete. He's not the best route runner, but he makes plays. So I feel like in that regard, yeah. As far as the line, I think the line is definitely probably a little bit even almost, because we did have Chris Samuels and Trent Williams, and Trent Williams is still one of the best tackles in the league. I just feel like it just goes back to what he said. Kenny said in the beginning, it's just about the slump, or is he going to get better, right? I mean, now, like I was telling you earlier, defenses now know there's not going to be a surprise with Jayden. They have so much film now, they're going to be able to scheme a lot more, right? So for him, he's going to have to adjust his game where he's getting smarter, making better plays, and doing things that are abnormal that they don't expect him to do, like the flaws, whatever the flaws would be. Maybe holding on to the ball a little bit too long, making quicker decisions for check down so you get back to the first down, little things like that. But I would say, to answer your question, King, I think that their quarterback play is the most important that they have. That is way better than on my team. Not knocking any of the guys that I had on my team. They're great players too.
Good guys.
But where this guy's ceiling is, this guy's potential in ceiling, and if he goes into this year like he did last year, even with the expectations of people knowing what you're going to do, because they knew what Lamar was going to do the following year. He only got better, right?
True.
So we need him to be in that position.
I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah, man. Now, go ahead. You going to say something, Reb?
Now I was gonna say, like, it's gonna be fun to see all of that come together. But Fred, you played tight end. How do you feel about the tight end evolution? Like, how do you feel about the state of the game right now and how things were different from when you were playing?
Oh man, I love it. I mean, I feel like the tight end evolution kind of started around when I was playing, because you had guys that were coming in the league more athletic, running 4.38s like a Vernon, and then guys running 4.4, and they weren't as big. Because before, let's be honest, if you look at the tight ends before, they were usually blocking tight ends that could catch. I mean, you had guys that was big, like they're 6'5", 6'6". The hybrid tight end now is like 6'3", 250, running fast, like an Aaron Hernandez. Not trying to bring him up, but like those type of guys, right? So like, I feel like this era is now it's even more of that hybrid type of tight end instead of the big, I'm going to block you, maybe 6'6", 6'7" guy. Now I feel like the position has changed totally, and the money has changed tremendously. I mean, tight ends are valued more than a running back now, which we should have been anyway. To me, in my opinion, tight end is one of the best positions, because not only do we catch the ball and maybe score touchdowns, we got to block.
Yeah.
If you're every down tight end, if you're every down tight end, you have to block. So I feel like you do a lot as a tight end, and we're finally getting paid. As I feel, tight ends should be getting paid, right? I feel like we're up there. We're getting up there now as far as position wise pay grade.
Sure.
I love it, man. I love it, dog. Well, as we close this up, let's go ahead and close out with just a little bit of what y'all think is going to happen in this game. We're going to close out with score positions, as well as like what we think might happen in this game prediction. So let's go ahead and jump in. Fred, you're the guest, so we'll go ahead and let you go out. What do you think? What's the over under on Jayden Daniels rush yards?
I think he's going to have to go over 50 at least. Over and under, right? I think over 50.
Yeah, over 50.
Over 50.
Okay.
I say over 50. I think this game, I do feel like the defensive pass rush might get there a little bit. You know what I mean? Everybody's excited. It's an NFC East game. Everybody ready. You know what I mean? Depending on what happened last year, it doesn't matter. So I feel like him getting over 50 will be sufficient enough where it's not too much. You know what I mean?
Got you. And I'm gonna ask you one more. Okay. Who scores the first touchdown of 2025?
And end around the Deebo Samuel on the goal line or something.
Hey,
I
I
like
like
that.
that.
Sound about right.
Definitely like that.
I got Deebo scoring the first TD too.
I would
really
love to
do.
see Deebo get it, but watch it be somebody we don't expect.
Right. Yeah.
It usually is. Huh? Trent
watch
Scott.
it be like
Actually,
exactly.
you know that, or I'm gonna go tight end, Zach Ertz or something. I feel like we might,
Not
in
that.
the red zone. In the red zone, Jayden be looking for his tight ends. That's another
Yes,
thing
he do.
I
I can
wish
see
I
that.
played for him. I wish I played with that. He always looking for the tight end, boy.
Man, happy National Tight End Day with him. But I definitely, I think the first touchdown is either going to come from somebody like Zach Ertz or like a rookie, like Jalen Lane might get a quick little right in there. Somebody who we're not expecting to see, or Ja'Cory Krosky-Mary. It might be a little. I feel like they might just try to throw it in there because I know Cliff likes to give different looks. So yeah, I agree with you. I wanted to be Terry, to be honest, just to be like,
that would be awesome. That would be like the biggest.
That would be great.
I think it's going to end up being somebody we don't expect, like one of the rookies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But let's go right into our score predictions for this game. Kenny, I'll let you kick this one off. What's your score prediction for this one?
All right, my score prediction for this game, we're gonna run with 31-21.
Okay. Commanders with the W.
Of course.
All right. Of course. All right. Fred, what you thinking?
First season, still got to work some kinks out, I believe. Like I also said, getting Terry back in the groove too. I'm gonna go 24-14, and I'm gonna give it to Commanders.
Okay.
10-point spread like me.
All right. Yeah. 24-14. All right. I like that. 24-14. I feel like the number 16 is coming to mind. So I think the Giants going to get 16, and I can see us winning by like 21. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a hard like.
I definitely think it's going to be a closer game than we would want it to be.
Yeah.
But I definitely think we prevail.
Yeah, definitely.
It always happens in the NFC East, though. Like, it's always close, man. Even and like you said, kinks out first week, right? They're still trying to figure things out. I just don't know, man. I just don't know if we're gonna get off to a slow start like how we did against Tampa last year. We got off to a pretty slow start because it was their first time, them playing together. This Giants team is really like new.
Exactly.
Like, in terms of like all their players and all their pieces, it's a lot of new pieces on that team. So I just even though it will be close, I think it's going to be close. I just don't see us getting off to a slow start. So that's why I said 31, because I think we're still going to put up some points.
Okay. I just feel like I got to respect their defense. So that's kind of where I was coming from with it. And because it's a divisional game, I'm telling you, it's a divisional game, man. Those division games in our division in particular. Right, look at the Cowboys game last year.
Right.
How we were doing our thing.
Division games. Yeah. Division games come harder, man. Like, they all matter. Like I was saying earlier to you as well. I don't want to say this, but tomorrow I would prefer for the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Eagles, the Cowgirls. Because that only helps us. If we beat if we beat the Dallas Cowboys twice and we have an issue where we split 1-1 with the Eagles, that would only help us in our division.
That'd be so smooth. That'd like lay you right up. I honestly want them to tie. I think that'd be better for us. But, we know that's not going to happen. So if anybody got to win, it'd rather be the Dallas Cowboys. My wife is a Cowboys fan, so I'm not too happy to say that. But but yeah, fellas, I think let's go ahead and close out on that. I think this has been a great conversation. Thank you all for recapping week 1 here. I think it's going to be a really good matchup, man. I'm excited to be seeing what's going to happen next, to be able to witness this team play at this level. Fred, we're excited to have you on the show. For everybody who's made it this far, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Show us some love. Follow all of us. We'll drop the handles in there. And Fred, before we get out of here, you got any shout outs? Anybody, anything you can do, anything that people could check you at?
Oh, man, I'm just relaxing, baby. No, I'm doing camps and stuff for kids. I don't know if you guys heard of Flag Star. I've been doing camps. They're done now, but next summer, if any kids want to come out for Flag Star football, I think, come on down. We have a lot of different athletes. Vernon Davis did it. Rocky did it. A lot of different guys did it on the team, older guys as well as younger guys as well. So I would feel like, I think that's one thing that I would recommend for any kids that want to come out and do some flag football and learn the game a little bit. Ages range from like 8 to 15. What else I would say is, man, just traveling, being a dad, and getting ready for this season to get started, baby.
That's beautiful, man.
Yes,
we're happy to have you on the pod. Kenny, you got any closing words before we get on out of here?
Let's go get this dub, man. That's it. That's all. I'm ready to get this dub, ready to eat these dubs. Let's go get this dub, baby. It's time. It's time. No, but sincerely, thank you, Fred, for joining us. My brother, we always appreciate you for joining the pod. Freddie D, my guy, Redskin, legend in our eyes, and just happy to have him, join us for this segment, for this NFC East matchup against the Giants as the opening season matchup. And we just ready to get this dub, man. Oh, and pull up to tailgate, go Lot D31. That's where we're at. We're hosting. We're doing a live DJ set featuring DJ Marvelous.
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna be amazing, amazing time, good time with the family and friends. So definitely pull up on us.
Most def, pull up on us. Game day, we're gonna be out there. You'll see me and the rest of the crew out there tailgating. Like Kenny said, our boy Marvelous is gonna have the live set at the tailgate. So definitely come be a part of that. Come show up, get some love. Let's talk about the team and everything together. We do our game day vlogs. And once again, Fred, we're so thankful to have you on this one. Hopefully we can bring you back again during the season, talk more about NFC East football and keep this party going.
Once we 8-0 and we play the Eagles.
Let's go. 8-0. Let's go, baby. We're going to end on that. Raise hell, raise hell. Let's go.
Raise hell, raise hell. Hell to the commanders will prevail. Raise hell. Hell to the commanders never fail. From kickoff to the final play, we're here to win. Come with me. Together strong, we'll blaze away.